Well, folks, miners did it again. Welcome back to Hoosier Hardware, and for those of you that are new to the channel, consider subscribing down below. But today I want to talk a little bit about, again, the state of AMD graphics cards in the market, because there was this very short period this fall where AMD graphics cards were actually affordable at or near their MSRP prices, and I did a couple videos on that. You could even pick up Vega 56 and Vega 64 readily from Amazon at the suggested retail price, and that's just not the case anymore. So a major reason for the lack of AMD graphics cards available continues to be Ethereum, which on this chart is the second cryptocurrency that is mineable here, and it is currently going for $636, though it topped out around the $900 price point within the last 6 days or 7 days or so. So the current price dip, I think, is just a market correction, at least probably a temporary one. But Ethereum has trended up all year, and something tells me it's probably gonna go back up at some point. But I think it got a little bit overextended when it was hitting $900, and it's coming back to earth. But still, $636 for one Ethereum, a cryptocurrency that at the start of the year was nearly worthless and just completely exploded. And because it is resistant to ASIC cards, unlike Bitcoin or Litecoin, AMD graphics cards are highly sought after for mining Ethereum because they're very efficient at it compared to a lot of the NVIDIA counterparts. Now, for those of you that don't know a whole lot about these cryptocurrencies, NVIDIA cards can be used to mine these cryptocurrencies. In fact, the 1080 Ti is a very good mining card for Ethereum, as well as the 1070. The thing is, those cards are significantly more expensive and take more power than something like an RX 480 or an RX 580, which can get a very similar hash rate, especially when you're comparing the 1070 to the RX 580 on the AMD side of things. The 580 typically used to cost less, as well as consuming less power while it was actually mining. So it was just a better value proposition for miners. So the downside to all this, of course, is that no stores or Amazon or anywhere else has affordable RX 580s or 480s because they're so sought after by miners that stores raise up the prices for the limited stock or supply that they do have, and those are even eaten up very quickly. So now we have a situation where you can't really find RX 580s or 480s, especially the 8GB ones, for a reasonable value, or at least a reasonable price to the end consumer, especially if you're a gamer, when something like a GTX 1060 hasn't seen its price affected nearly as much by mining. So if we go over to Amazon and look at RX 580s, specifically the 8GB versions, we see that there is one here from XFX. It is $380 that is sold by Amazon, and it's not even in stock right now. You have to wait until December 30th. So you're waiting for a card that's not in stock, that's priced a full $150 more than the MSRP. Now, if we move down a little bit, there is an RX 580 4GB version here from Asus that is right at the $300 price point, and the cheapest RX 580 that I found that's sold by Amazon, again, not in stock yet, not till December 30th, but it is only $310 right now, and that's this MSI version. Now, if we go back to this XFX one yesterday, it was $309 on Amazon, and I only know that because I was actually looking for an affordable RX 580, and of course, once again, I'm late to the party a little bit on actually getting that, though I think I was able to secure a used one for the sub $300 price point, but it was still more expensive than a brand new one was originally supposed to be, with the price set by AMD. Now, if we go over to Newegg and check out RX 580s, the situation isn't really much better here. We have one MSI one that looks like they have in stock. It's an 8GB card. It has a blower style fan on it, which isn't great, but it is $310. And aside from that, it looks like they don't really have any in stock other than this Sapphire one down here, which is $500. And I can't really fault Newegg here because they are trying to make the most amount of profit possible. It is a store after all, and frankly, somebody will probably buy that Sapphire RX 580 with the intention of using it to mine. And of course, the only reason a gamer would probably pay that much for an RX 580 is either they're just very uninformed, or maybe they have a FreeSync monitor and they really don't play games that are overly demanding. Maybe they have like a 1920 by 1080p FreeSync monitor and they play Overwatch. So in which case the RX 580 might be their only option right now with the way the current market is. Maybe money's not an object to them and they just want to play on their variable refresh rate monitor. In which case, more power to you, but we almost guarantee if that card does get sold, it's getting sold to a miner, or at least somebody that's reselling it to a miner. I mean, that happens too, and that's another one of the problems with mining is that people will gobble up the cheap RX 580s or 480s when they find them and just resell them on something like eBay and try to make a quick buck on that. And again, I can't really fault people for that because they are trying to make money, and that's what an open free market does, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. So although there was some hope this fall that the Ethereum craze was dying down a little bit, that AMD graphics cards were starting to look like they were coming into stock at reasonable price points, it looks like it's going to be a good while longer before that actually happens, or at least on a regular basis. So if you are an AMD fan looking for an AMD GPU, either hold off and just be very, very patient. Hopefully you already have a card that can provide you good service for the time being, or your options are going to be sort of down to NVIDIA because these AMD cards do not look like they're going to get affordable in the near future. And let's not even talk right now about the $1,200 on the low end that you would pay for a Vega 64. Or the $1,200 you pay for a Vega 56. I mean, those higher end cards, those Vega cards are just not gonna do it at that price point. So hopefully this video was a little bit informative to you. Maybe you didn't know why AMD graphics cards were getting expensive again. Let me know in the comments down below if you were planning on buying an AMD card. What are you gonna do instead? Are you gonna go ahead and buy the bullet and buy a really expensive GPU? Are you gonna wait, or are you just gonna go NVIDIA? Let me know down below. And also, of course, if you like this video, give it a like, share, subscribe, comment down below. All those things also help very much. You can follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at Hoosier Hardware. Those are the best places if you want to contact me directly to do that. And as always, I'll let YouTube queue up a few more videos around me for you to watch. I'm Shane with Hoosier Hardware, and I'll see you guys in the next video.